This is the development news for July the 16th, 2026.
Okay, I want to share something with you today that I think is really cool. It is called the AI Skills Library, and you can find it under skills.cloud.sap. And the reason why I think it's cool is because that is a collection of a lot of skills for an AI agent, right? That you can reuse from other people, but that you can also, for example, check out and learn from other people. But you don't only find skills, you can also, for example, find MCP servers. And they're compatible with Joule Work and with Claude, so you can just import them into your system. And let's just have a look at how that works quickly. So here, for example, you can find a skill for the CF CLI, so the Cloud Foundry CLI. And there's the description for the skill. This is also how the agent then knows which skill to use when. And then here we can just import it to our Joule Work desktop. And now it's actually importing the skill to my Joule Work. Okay, so we will update that. Great, and now you can see I have the BTP skill, CLI skill I had before, the Joule A2A agent skill and Joule CLI skill. I had those three imported before already, and now I also have the CF CLI skill. Now you might wonder what is inside this skill. So you can check out the Markdown file here. And it's really just a very, very detailed description of how the CLI works, what the agent can use, which commands. For example, there's also a YAML file example somewhere here for the manifest YAML. And it's really just a really detailed description of how to use the Cloud Foundry CLI, which is honestly helpful for humans and also very helpful for your agent, whatever you're using, to then just support you with using the Cloud Foundry CLI, for example. But there are so many different skills out there, and I really, really want to encourage you to create your own skills, share them up here, and let's contribute and reuse skills from one another.
Hi everyone, welcome to the SAP Developer News. We're here at UI5Con in Sengleon Road, and we had a fantastic day of sessions, coding, connecting, talking to people, and we can't wait to come back next year, and we can't wait for the next events coming up as part of CodeConnect tomorrow and the day after.
So, hello from Recap 2026. It's Wednesday, the 15th of July. Recap is well underway. It's been an awesome conference so far. Keynote from Daniel Hutzel, which really showed how central to AI for us and for you CAP really is. Anyway, we've had some great sessions. Looking forward to a nice evening event as well. See you soon.
Talking about AI, the concept of agents is not new, right? Even though this book says artificial intelligence and modern approach, and this is the book where the agents were described for the very first time in the context of AI, how many of you know this book and know from which year it is? 74-ish? No, it's actually 1995 book. But yeah, from today's perspective, 74, 95 sounds equally ancient.
Our compatible with Light LLM and SAP is also now compatible with Light LLM as well. So that's pretty cool because then you can use all the agent frameworks to build your agents using the LLMs from their hand. And that's what I did today. I used LangChain and Light LLM. And then I obviously added a tool. I will show you the code for that in a second. And that tool is calling the PAL model. And then what you will do is we deploy this agent to Cloud Foundry using the API protocol, because then our agent can actually be discovered by other agents, and then we will add a tool on top to call that agent. Cool?
Hola, SAP developers. In case you missed it, the MCP gateway in SAP Integration Suite is now generally available. API-centric integration is here. It is a new paradigm to how we create our API artifacts and MCP servers on the new Integration Cell runtime. Think of it as designing the API and its mediation logic in one place. With the MCP gateway, we can turn our existing APIs into tools for AI agents with authentication, rate limiting, and traceability. Check out Vinaya's blog post to learn more about API-centric integration and the MCP gateway. Also, Ashutosh published a couple of blog posts in SAP community that walks you end-to-end on how to build and deploy your first API on Integration Cell, and then how to govern it through the Developer Hub. All of this available in the BTP trial, so you can go and check it out and get some hands-on experience. Hasta luego.
And speaking of recap and all things CAP related, I also wanted to point you towards the CDS caching project by Mikezaschka. It's in its 2.0 version. He's just updated it for CAP 10. I can tell you, I've already used it in a CAP 10 project, found it very handy. I'm using it to cache some remote data that's frequently read. Easy to set up, easy to use, like so many of the CAP plugins. It's got settings for both memory-based caching, which is what I was using originally, but I had a multi-server instance, so then all I had to do was flip a configuration and it used HANA database-based caching. So super easy to adjust with the configuration settings. If you have a use case, and many of the new features, as Mike points out, like the MCP server, can really benefit for some caching. If you have such use cases, then definitely check out this great open source plugin to the CAP framework.